when I was driving to work just now, there was a lot of traffic on the bridge, but then there were lanes for where I was going that didn't have traffic, and I was thinking, or something came to me, that one day the computer will tell us where to live, or it'll tell us where to work based on where we live. So it'll put all the factors of all the businesses around and how much you can make and factor in your qualifications and what job you can get. And it'll say, well, you should work here because the commute is shorter and you'll save time in the commute time and you won't be wasting your life sitting in your car traveling. And then that'll make up for this factor and blah, blah, blah. And it'll just tell us what to do and where to live. And then there won't be so much traffic out there because it won't be people thinking, well, I should live way out here because it's cheaper, and then go work way out here because I can make more money, and then waste 3 hours a day of life in a vehicle. So yeah, I can't get enough of this river right now. Look at that. There's a hummingbird. Never noticed them here before, ever. Only because I went to California and now I speak hummingbird. I know how to hear them and then how to listen to where they are. It's right at the top of the tree there. Hey, little birdie. Here are the horrible engine brakes mixed in with the beautiful hummingbird call. There he goes. I'm feeling a bit shaky. I have cramps today. I had to take naproxen. So I haven't taken my vitamins yet, but I'm going to, and I'm going to make a smoothie. And I slept well last night. I woke up a bit early, and I think I slept well the night before. So I'm back to sleeping well and feeling tired. Not taking the dopamine boosters is helping for sure. I still have lots of energy to do what I need to do, and my brain's working well, and I can get everything done. So I'll show my Aspire data and sleeping summary. for the last few days. And last night when I was doing the relaxation audio, I wasn't able to really breathe calm for very long. Previously, I've had like 20 or so minutes straight of calm, according to Spire, and last night I only had 5, like 2 minutes and another 3 minutes. I think it's partly because I ate a lot of cake. It was my birthday, and I had 2 rounds of cake, and I ate a lot, and I probably was just bloated. It's hard to breathe calm when one is so stuffed and bloated. And I'm feeling like eating healthier pretty soon at some point. Just cleaning out my body a bit, increasing my vibration. I have a lot to talk about. A lot of insights have been coming to me. So after I do this crisis planning and organizing of this other thing and deciding whether I'm going to take off to California or stay here, which is all in the next few days, I need to get outside, and I also want to organize some of these insights to maybe talk about it in a coherent way, and in this energetic state, talk about it in a coherent way, because I think I've talked about some stuff in a disjointed way related to mental health in the past, but I'm seeing a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more holistically, and it's less scary, because some of this can be scary in a way, because to realize that there's no self there is weird. And even just saying that now, I realize that when one realizes that, one needs a completely different design of life, because when there's no self, one is kind of like a ping pong ball. So if one uses whatever illusion of self and free will remains to put oneself in a position like a chess piece to operate that way, and in a situation to operate that way, then it's safe to operate without a self. But right now it's like there is this illusion of self, but it's opaque, it's visible. It's not operating as what is below awareness, as a necessity below awareness, but it's like, well, this is what's operating, but it's not necessary. But I see the limited necessity of it as life is designed right now. And I think that's what the medications help to keep going. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. I was walking and I had to put my bag down to look at this. It's not that everything's so distracting, it's that everything is so attracting. Look at that! There's a big ant in the middle of the drugstore. I'm gonna try and save him. Let's see if he's still alive. Mr. Ant, did you make it? Ah, you did. This isn't really a good spot for you, though. Maybe I'll put you in the park. There's your house. He's in here. Oh, there he is. Maybe he's a queen, and when I put him down, or her, she'll make a new colony. Otherwise, she's probably a lone ant, and she can't survive without the vibe of her tribe. I got my Tulsi tea. Vanilla rose. I'm gonna have a cup of that tonight. And I got more drugs. And I'm gonna go save my aunt. There he is. I didn't go to the park because I'm hungry, and yesterday I ate so much cake that I thought I was going to explode, so I'm going to make something healthy to eat. And I got my polygala as well as phenibut and uridine powder from No Tropics Depot. So now I have all my supplements so I can put together my crisis plan. Actually, I'm going to rename it and call it my transformation plan, especially after watching Jason Silva's video, The Creative Act. Look at all the dandelions. All right, little ant. This is as good a place as any, because someone told me once that once you lose your trail, you're dead. But I feel being in the middle of a drugstore, a big drugstore, on the white floor, as a black ant, somebody was going to find you if it wasn't me and just step on you and kill you. So at least this way, you have a chance. And I'm looking at the ground here, and there's some ants here. They might not be your friends, but you are a heck of a lot bigger than them. So you have a chance. So why don't you just find your way out? Where are you? You are a really big guy. You are really big, so I think you might be a queen. Look how big you are. You're huge. So, like, that is a huge ant. You are right in the middle of the drugstore. So now you're gonna do something with these ants here. You're pretty mellow, like you're not getting freaked out or anything. So, you're pretty mellow here too. Where are you? There you are. So yeah, you have a better chance with the remainder of your life being happy out here. There's plenty of room. The world is your oyster. I should have brought my macro lens out for this, but I didn't think of it. Well, have a good life. I'm gonna go make some food. This guy seemed to be just as content in the bag as out of the bag, as on the drugstore floor. This guy is truly a Zen ant. He's not concerned that he can't find his friends. Okay, seriously, this is when I get distracted by all the beauty, when I'm in this state of consciousness, and I have work to do. I have crisis planning to do. And I stood up really fast, and I think with that blood donation, I don't have the same body fluids yet. And I was distracted by this beautiful purple flower. But again, it's not distraction, it's the beauty algorithm in the brain. I was driving and my window was open, and all of a sudden this tiny little sunflower dandelion seed came flying in my window, and I could see it in my peripheral vision, and it was just like, oh, that's beautiful. I didn't even look at it with my focal vision, but I still saw it, and it still touched me. Well, now that I've put that ant in its right place, or at least a better place, where he can be an ant, I'm gonna go back and make some food, but I do want to talk about something that's on my list of things to talk about, which isn't that long because I have a longer list of insights piling up. But yesterday when I was at work, I had an experience where, while I was working, I was sharing stuff, blah, 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 being vocal, speaking up, and I had an experience where somebody gave me a look like this, like a scowl, and I saw it, and it like, the energy, the light from their eyes like pierced my soul, and I felt the energy of, they were possibly sort of angry or not able to something, I don't know. But I've talked before a long time ago about the light coming out of one's eyes and how we're received. So for the example of being in front of a psychiatrist when we're in these vulnerable states, that's going to warp us according to how they see us. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm in this heightened state where my brain seems to be kind of working out the distinction between, this is the thing I struggle with, getting into these vulnerable states. It feels like there's no boundaries. It feels like one is everything and one is everyone. Yet one isn't everyone in a way. And the way my brain is working it out is from the level of thought and the level of insight, which are two different ways that the brain can operate. So other people, they might feel like me, as in we're related and not separate. So I can get certain feelings of what they're putting at me in terms of energy, and I feel like I clearly felt what was coming at me there. But at the same time, I felt the pain of it. It did affect me physically, but it did affect me psychologically as well, but not in the same way of feeling like it was warping me. It was sort of a pain feeling like it was coming from thought, from a person projecting thought at me. So it affected me, and in seeing that it affected me, I wasn't affected. It was strange. Whereas before, if I didn't see that energy coming and know where it came from, my energy might have been lowered, and then I wouldn't know why, and then I'd be acting differently, but not knowing why. But I felt the energy. It was like a laser beam, and so I could clearly see where it was coming from. So it did affect me, but it lowered my energy, but I was able to bring it back up because I wasn't like thinking, well, where did this come from? I saw exactly where it came from with my eyes, meeting their eyes and them sending me like this evil glare. But I feel like I was able to neutralize it. And also, people with lived experience are powerful, and the look they give can be really powerful. And I got a powerful look that was, I think, possibly unconsciously being used for the not good, because my intentions were not bad in that day, but doesn't mean that people won't react even if one's intentions are good. So being able to neutralize that, and then also experiencing that so fully, whereas before it was sort of like an insight of, I can see how this works. People projecting images and psychiatrists and blah, 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 but this was like fully coming out of that experience. And what was interesting too is earlier that day, somebody was telling me about an opportunity on Fridays, and I was like, oh, that's a cool opportunity. Maybe I want to stay and not go to California. And then at the end of the day, when that evil glare happened, I was kind of like, I don't need this shit. Like, I don't need to be around people who are going to give an evil glare when I could go to California and there's not really evil glares there. There could be, but it's just different. So I feel like as soon as I'm feeling, yeah, I could stay here and be here and blah, 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 the next moment I'm like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. So yeah, I'm still vacillating between the two perspectives of, yeah, I want to be here and do what I can with this here. And then also I was thinking about too how I'm writing down all these insights and they're sort of coming up, but they're not relevant to the moment. So they are insight, but they're not relevant to the moment in terms of there's no one to share it with. So I write it down. Whereas in California, I can be in the state of insight and I just share with people in dialogue from that level. And it's not, I never feel, not never, but I didn't really feel like I have to write anything down. So it's like this whole writing things down for later is a side effect of not being where one can be in dialogue and with other beings who are at least attempting to operate from a different level of consciousness. So we'll see what happens. I saved the ant. I probably have a bit more to talk about. Make food, start a crisis plan, continue to organize my videos, and then that one other project. And then it keeps going and going and going. But that's why I need to remember to eat. Last night I took a nice bath, and I might take a bath again tonight. And I feel like the Spire is teaching me to not breathe tense while I'm driving, because I haven't really had as much tense breathing while driving. So it's cool that it's not only going to tell me, oh, you're tense while driving, so don't drive as much anymore. My body automatically responds and learns how to breathe with that feedback. And I didn't have that much tense breathing in 6 hours at work yesterday. So it could also be that I'm doing the Peter Smith relaxation audio. And I've done it probably like 8 days or 9 days in a row now. Even though it's really hard in a way to do it, because my mind is like, there's a lot to do and it's sort of trying to figure out and have insights into things. But I am glad that my brain seems to be figuring out this whole distinction of what is you and what is me. There is no you and me, but there's still this stuff sort of coming at me from the level of a you and just sort of blocking it or letting it bounce off. And also being aware that it does affect me and to be careful a little bit. The last thing I wanted to say about that whole evil glare phenomenon was that people with lived experience were misusing our power. I felt the power of that energy of that person, and wow, they are powerful, but they don't know how to use their power. They're using it the wrong way. They're using it to glare at people that are there to support them. And I've taken the Jiao Gulan for 2 days, and I took CoQ10 this morning and the last couple of days, but I didn't take the acyl L-carnitine ALA combo. And I also read to take cold showers to reduce stress, so I'm going to try to do 2 minutes of a cold shower after my shower in the morning.